How to form an LLC in Minnesota. When starting a new company, choosing a business entity is one of the most important decisions that you make. For most businesses with more than one founding member, forming an LLC is often the best option. Before we begin, let's quickly define what an LLC is. An LLC stands for Limited Liability Company and is an uncomplicated business structure that gives business owners legal protection by separating personal assets from business debts. Creating an LLC can get complicated depending on where you're based, as the process differs from state to state. To avoid any missteps, follow along as we show you how to form an LLC in Minnesota. The first step in forming an LLC is to select a name. Minnesota has two major naming guidelines for you to follow. 1. Your name must be unique and differ from other business entities on file with the Minnesota Secretary of State. 2. Your name must either contain the phrase Limited Liability Company or the abbreviation LLC. After choosing a name for your LLC, it's a good idea to reserve it with the Secretary of State. This isn't a requirement, but it will prevent other businesses from being able to use your proposed name. First, check the name's availability using the Minnesota Secretary of State search tool. After you have confirmed that the name is available, file a name reservation form by mail or online. Note there is a fee. Check the description below for more details. Step 2. Designate a registered agent. Just like in most states in the U.S., if you want to start an LLC in Minnesota, you need to have a registered agent. A registered agent is a person or a company that represents your LLC in the state and receives important legal documents, notices, and other official communications on your behalf. They ensure you get these documents on time and help keep your information private. Your registered agent must have an address in Minnesota or a business office in Minnesota if they are based out of state. Check out the description below for recommended registered agent services that can guide you through this entire process. Step 3. File Articles of Organization. Next, file your Articles of Organization with the Secretary of State. Doing this formally establishes your LLC. The Articles of Organization must provide the following information: LLC name, address, phone number, and email address. Registered agent's name, address, and signature. LLC organizer's name, address, and signature. You can file online or via mail. Note that there is a fee. Check the description below for more details. Next is to create an operating agreement. An operating agreement will describe your business structure, establish the individual responsibilities and obligations of the LLC members, detail how your LLC will be run. Although Minnesota doesn't require one, an operating agreement clarifies the specific duties of its members. This may help your LLC avoid significant legal and operational difficulties. Step 5. Get an EIN. Before your company can conduct business, you must get an IRS Employer Identification Number, EIN. You can apply for an EIN on the IRS website. An EIN is a 9-digit number that functions as a social security number for your business. It's required for various business functions, such as paying income tax, filing tax returns, and opening business bank accounts. Finally, make sure you complete all of the additional legal requirements. File an annual renewal. All LLCs in Minnesota must file an annual renewal with the Secretary of State each year. The annual renewal is due by December 31 and can be filed for free online or by mail. File taxes. If your LLC collects sales tax on retail goods or has employees, you are required to register with the Minnesota Department of Revenue. Acquire additional licenses. Depending on the business's nature and location, an LLC may require additional state or local business licenses. You can find Minnesota State business license information at the Minnesota e-licensing portal. You should contact the clerk or local government representative in the city or county where your LLC is based for information on local licensing regulations. So, to sum it up, how to form an LLC in Minnesota. Select a name, designate a registered agent, file your Articles of Organization, create an operating agreement, obtain an employer identification number, fulfill your legal obligations, particularly those relating to submitting an annual renewal, registering for state taxes, and applying for any additional licenses you may need. By following these steps, you can form an LLC in Minnesota. All the websites mentioned earlier are located in the description below, as well as a link to a guide. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out our other videos answering your questions about all things LLC.